Hello, Ms. Roberts and Ms. Martinez.
Hello there.
Thank you for coming. Instructional coaches, I know you've been coaching Ms. Garza, and one of the things we've actually been working on is student engagement. Ms. Roberts, you actually have been the one coaching Ms. Garza in her classroom, and I've personally been going in and seeing that she has as high as 90% student engagement, so kudos to you.
Yay.
So let's go ahead and collaborate. So we've analyzed student work in CBPLs. Tell me, what are your findings when analyzing the student work in CBPLs? Let's start with glows and then go into opportunities of growth.
Okay, so one glow about Ms. Garza and CBPLs, when it comes to analyzing student work, she always comes prepared with a student exemplar or even a teacher exemplar, and in addition to that, she also has a rubric to help her peers. When it comes to opportunities of growth, Ms. Garza, when we start separating our student work into the actual piles, we've noticed that about 40% of the students are still in the did not meet area or even the approaching category rather than in the meets and masters.
Okay, good. And analyzing what you all are doing in CBPL, I've been seeing the same thing. Tell me, do you know anything about like academic monitoring, or let me just ask this, what do you think is the primary purpose of a teacher monitoring during independent practice?
Teacher monitoring during independent practice is very important because it gives the teacher the opportunity to assess their students informally at that time and then provide the support needed to get them where they need to be to meet expectations.
Good, good. You're right on. The purpose of academic monitoring or monitoring while the students are doing the independent work is actually to make those in-the-moment adjustments that are needed for student success. So you kind of just named the gap. So although we do have 90% of the classroom where we see strong student engagement, more than 40% of the students are struggling to get to meets or masters on the exit ticket. So that's why today I wanted to call both coaches in and I wanted to work on practicing here in the practice clinic before going in front of Ms. Garza. And let's focus on academic monitoring to ensure greater student success on the exit ticket. So let's do the see it, name it, do it framework. So I'm going to demonstrate what academic monitoring looks like, and I'm going to role play the teacher. And then we'll switch places, and I'll have Roberts be the coach, and you'll coach Ms. Martinez.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, let's go. Okay, so I just modeled academic monitoring as a teacher for you, and you went ahead and wrote your script.
Right.
Do you mind, before we go in front of Ms. Garza, role-playing the coach while Coach Martinez, do you mind role-playing the teacher?
Sure.
Okay,
Sounds
great.
good.
Great.
All
Let's
right.
go for it.
Awesome. All right. Hello, Ms. Garza. How are you?
Doing great, and yourself?
I'm doing very well. So I've been coming in during our coaching cycle to observe you, and one of the celebrations that I did notice was that 90% of your students are engaged. So kudos to you, okay? What did you do to make this a success?
Well, I've been reviewing my essential agreements daily, and I also, the use of Class Dojo also helps as well.
Right, we know that motivation can really help the kids smooth transition. So in CBPL and in class, how do you feel about the student work that we've analyzed?
Well, I've noticed that I have like the same students who meet and master the assignment or the exit ticket, but then there's also still a percentage of students who do not meet, and so I'd like to target those students through the coaching cycle with
With that support, definitely. What do you think about monitoring during independent work? What do you feel is the primary focus of academic monitoring?
Well, with academic monitoring, I believe it is used to actually make on-the-spot adjustments to support students.
Awesome, that hits it right on the nail. So the purpose of monitoring is to make the in-the-moment adjustments needed to help our students be successful. So in 90% of the classroom, you see strong engagement with students, but more than 40% of the students are still struggling to meet expectations. This is why today we will focus on academic monitoring to ensure greater student success on the exit ticket. Okay?
Thank you.
First, I will model how this is done for you.
Okay.
Then I will role play the teacher who is aggressively monitoring her students. Then I'm gonna coach you on how to implement this within your classroom as a teacher. Okay? As you watch me academic monitor, just go ahead and take notes on what I say and what I do, and then think about the impact that it has on our students. Ready?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, scholars, it is now time for you to complete your independent work. Please complete question number 4 first as your exit ticket. I will give you one of 3 markings. A check mark means correct, plus sign means to add more evidence to your answer, or write incomplete sentences.
Okay, let's pause it right there. Make sure when you're referring to the coding marks that you refer to the anchor chart as you're speaking so that the students know what the marks look like.
Perfect. Okay, yes.
And do that part over.
Okay. I will give you one of 3 markings. Check means correct. A plus sign means to add more evidence or to write incomplete sentences. And a question mark means to retry your answer. When you're done with question number 4, go ahead and move on to the rest of the questions. Any questions? Go ahead and begin. Check. Good job, Michael. Check. Good job, Maria. Let's see. Ooh, plus. Go ahead and turn to page 54 and look at paragraphs 1 and 2 and see if you can add more evidence to your answer. I will come back in about 2 minutes to see what evidence you have added. Question mark. Can you do me a favor and go to your online audio and reread page 54 and go ahead and retry your answer.
Let's
come
pause
back
right
around.
there. Make sure you don't say favor because then it makes it sound like make sure they know that you mean business.
Okay.
So just say it over again and don't say the word favor.
Favor? Okay.
Mhm.
Question mark. Go ahead and go to your online audio and reread page 54. Then retry your answer. I'll come back around to check.
Good.
Okay, scholars. My second round will begin in about 1 minute. I will come around for students that need more time. If you already have a check mark, go ahead and move on to the other independent practice questions, okay? Check. Good job. You've added more evidence. I see you still need some support. Let's go ahead and go to the small table, okay? Let's go.
All right. So great job, Coach Robert, showing the model. Are you ready to lead the debrief?
Yes.
As if she's the teacher, as if Coach Martinez is the teacher.
Yes.
Okay, great.
You ready? Okay. So, what did you see me say and do as I modeled academic monitoring?
Well, I noticed that you first went with the students who were finished first, and then you came back around with those students who needed more support.
Awesome, awesome. So thinking about this, what impact do you think this had on the students?
Well, it provided in the moment feedback.
Right.
The students were able to, make that adjustment, and you came back around. So I feel like they needed that feedback right away.
Exactly.
Good. So let me stamp some key takeaways. Excellent job leading the debrief, and your takeaways were really good. Remember when we're academic monitoring to always state the coding system, and then also state the error. So we never say like, you guys didn't do that, like it's wrong, or go back and look at it. Be specific about what they need to do, like what she was doing, like, hey, make sure you turn to paragraph, because some of these students that are stuck, and you said they're at approaches, and they're at, what are they at?
Did not meet.
Did not meet. Those students need more scaffolding. So you can do things like, the teacher needs to walk around with that exemplar and say specifically where they need to locate that answer in their reader. And then also for the follow-up is important. So coding, stating the error, and making sure you follow up. So we'll always go back and say, hey, I'm coming back in 3 minutes, and then you actually do the follow-up. And when we have a class full of question marks, the students who you went back to follow up and you see that they still didn't get it, then I would call those students back for a small group. And what I would do strategically is call someone who got it correct with maybe a couple of students that did not get it correct. Use the student that got it correct, use theirs as option A for them to analyze, and then use another students that got it wrong as option B, and have the students discuss which one is correct and why. Okay, and see if they can figure out which is option A the correct exemplar, or is option B the correct exemplar. And they'll be able to scaffold and come up with what's missing in their paper. And it could be a quick small group, because they'll talk about it and they'll see it, and they'll talk about what's missing, and you can send them back. So now it's time for the teacher to do it. Ms. Martinez, you want to do it?
Sure.
You ready? All right, let's go for it.
Check. Good job, Maria. Plus, okay. So I want you to go back and use this sentence stem to answer your question.
Okay, pause right there. Coach Roberts, I want you to coach into why she just gave the student a plus. So every time we use the coding system, because it's new, remind the student and refer to that anchor track.
Right. Okay, so Ms. Martinez, so remember, when you are instructing the students with the coding marks, make sure that you remind the students of what each mark means.
Can you give her an example of what that might sound like?
So for example, giving the students a plus mark, or plus sign, you want to explain to the students that they need to either add more evidence to their answer, or they need to write it in sentences.
All right. Plus. Okay, now plus means to add more information or to write in a complete sentence. Okay, so I want you to use this sentence stem to help you write in a complete sentence. Okay, I'll come back and check. Check.
When are you coming back? Coach into the time.
All right. So remember, when you're following up with the students, you always want to let them know how much time they have before you will circle back to check on them. So a realistic time, what is a realistic time for you to come back?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, exactly.
Okay.
So just let the students know.
All right. Plus. Okay, so plus means to add more information or to write in a complete sentence. So I want you to go back and use this sentence stem to help you write your answer in a complete sentence, okay? I'll come back and check in 2 minutes. All right, check. Good job, Michael. Your question mark. Now remember that a question mark means to retry your answer again. Okay, so now I notice that there are a lot of cognate in this text. So I want you to open up your computer and go back and use your text-to-speech and retry your answer again. I'll give you 2 minutes and I'll come back and check.
Okay. Coach into 2 minutes. I think 2 minutes is not enough time
Okay.
for text to speech.
So remember, Ms. Martinez, when we are giving expectations to our students, we want realistic time frame. So maybe 2 minutes is a little bit quick for them to do text to speech. So let's think about a realistic time to give the students before. What do you think?
5 minutes.
Okay, awesome. Can you redo that, please?
Question? Okay, I'm going to give you a question mark. Now remember that a question mark means to retry your answer. Now I notice that in this text there are a lot of cognates. So I want you to open up your computer and use your text-to-speech and retry your answer. I'll come back in 5 minutes.
Great. All right. Excellent job, Coach Martinez, role playing the teacher. And I loved how you did a bilingual classroom. And then excellent job, Coach Roberts, coaching on to some of the things that you saw that she needed coaching on. So that's awesome. So let's go ahead and do our write down our next steps. So as far as follow-up, when are you going to be able to get into do the see it, name it, do it model with teacher Ms. Garza?
So with Ms. Garza, I plan on doing it tomorrow during her conference time.
What time is that?
11:10.
Okay, great. So you send me a calendar invite, and I'll be in there. And then when can we see her live in action in the classroom?
We can schedule for Tuesday of next week.
Tuesday? Okay, great. All right, looks good. We look forward to following up and seeing how this looks.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.